Hi, I'm Julie Lambert, and I wanted to share with you some top tips for pre-meditation. Now that may sound a strange thing about pre-meditation, but actually the more that we can set ourselves up in the way that our mind works, the better before we actually meditate. Just like a runner does a warm-up, stretching exercises before they start running, the same is also true for meditation, particularly when you're first starting. Now, one of the reasons for this also is that the brain isn't used to you saying, stop, focus on one thing. It's not used to that at all. So you need to just help to lessen the resistance that your mind may have. And there are some really good tips and good ways to do that. First thing, always try and sit in the same place. I tend to meditate in the chair, and always the same chair, and if possible at the same time of the day. First thing in the morning is great because you've not really started your day and the mind's not too distracted with all the things and stuff that you have to do. You're also not out on the street where it's on alert mode and into that work mode. So first thing in the morning is ideal. 5 minutes maximum in the morning is enough, just to get your mind used to you saying, stop, now we're going to be sitting in this chair going into a meditative state for that 5-minute period. The other benefits, actually, I haven't mentioned some of the benefits of meditation, but you will have increased awareness, and your body also starts to move into a far more relaxed, advanced relaxed state. So you're sort of going against that fight or flight syndrome, the fight, flight or freeze syndrome actually that we all have, which is part of our sort of old brain animal response. Okay, so let's get started. So find yourself the chair, the best chair, and when you're walking towards the chair, that is your time to start. And what I would call that is like a trigger. What you're doing is calming the mind, reminding the mind that you are now going to be sitting in that chair for 5 minutes and you want the least disturbance from your mind. Now initially your mind won't be used to it. You'll sit down in the chair and all of a sudden it will start talking, blah, 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 but all sorts of things because it's not used to you putting your foot down and saying, no, in this moment we're going to think about, now I'm sitting here in a feeling of peace. Pieces within. I'm going about to start my meditation time. This is my time. This is a special time. So as you're walking towards your chair, start to say a line. Now I'm going to start my meditation. I'm going to have these peaceful moments. And when you do that, the mind goes, oh, yes, oh, okay, I remember this from yesterday. Yes, she's going to walk towards the chair and sit in the chair and she's telling me these lines, and that's right, yes, oh yes, and she sat for 5 minutes, that was okay, I know what she was doing. So you break down the resistance, and so the more you do that over and over again, the more you build those pathways in your brain, and the less resistance you'll have. The other thing is make sure you sit with your back erect, but not really straight upright, you could say, but relaxed. So you've got the sort of using the natural curve of the spine. Feet flat on the floor, and normally I just put my hands just lightly resting on my thighs. Avoid crossing arms. Yeah, I just thought I'd mention a couple of other things before we finish. When you drive, if you say to me, oh, Julie, I've never experienced a meditative state. Believe me, just driving a familiar journey from one place to another, it could be picking up children from school, it could be the drive you always do once a week to the supermarket at a particular time, you'll find that your brain switches off. And that's why you can arrive at your destination and not even realize that, don't remember the journey. So what's happened is that your left side of your brain, analytical, your processing, your languaging side, has released. And all it's done is being able to drive the car. That's all it's tasked with. But because it's boring, because it's familiar, there's a movement over into the right hemisphere. And that's your creativity side. That's your intuitive side. That's where you dance, where you paint, where you sports people would call it being in the zone. It's a timeless space, and that is the space that we're looking for when we reach a meditative state. It is a shift in brainwave frequencies from a beta frequency to more of an alpha frequency, and in some cases to a theta brainwave frequency. So learning to meditate is so important. It's a wonderful thing, even if you spend 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes before getting into bed at night. I would avoid meditating in bed, particularly lying down, because there's obviously a tendency to fall asleep. But finding a space, what I found when I started to meditate, even for 5 minutes in the day, I would wake up in the morning and I'd be thinking about what I needed to do for the day. But after 5 minutes of meditation, I realized that all of the things I needed to do laid themselves out in a linear fashion rather than being in a jumble, and it made it so much easier because I found much more calm and peaceful, and then my mind shuffled everything around so that I knew I could do this thing, and then this thing, and then this thing next, and then this thing. And it seemed to reorganize my life so it was smoother, calmer, easier, and far more peaceful. Now, I've just talked about some top tips here, but there are many ways of doing meditation. There's meditation using a candle with eyes open. There's meditation where you're repeating a mantra, and a mantra could be anything like, I'm feeling peace in this moment. Peace is inside me in this moment. It could be a line that you repeat, and you do that. By doing that, you break the brain mental chatter. You could be sitting in silence doing a meditation. You could be listening to a guided meditation where someone else is speaking and you're listening, and underneath that is some music. There are many, many different types of meditation, and I'm going to show you in the next video an eyes open meditation that you can do sitting at your desk, and it will take 1 minute. So thank you for listening. Good luck with your meditating.